Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for logging on to CBS News Colorado. I am Michael Spencer, and we are pleased to be joined by Michael McQuaid, an NFL reporter and co-founder of Broncos Europe. The Broncos, of course, across the pond this week, getting ready for their game against the Jags coming up on Sunday. Michael, as you know, it has been a disappointing year for the Broncos. It was funny. You and I talked when the London game was officially announced. There was a lot of excitement about the team at that time. What is the vibe over in London right now as the Broncos spend the week over there in preparation of Sunday's game?
Michael, thanks firstly for just bringing us on, and obviously for CBS Colorado's continued support of fans internationally. Um, the vibe is interesting. I got in on Wednesday night and got to Wembley Park Station. So if people have not been to London before, it's literally a straight road walk to Wembley Stadium, and I met about 10 Broncos fans, and people were stopping and talking within like 2 minutes. It was very, very strange. The vibe is good. And I think it only really hit me a few days ago that this is happening. I think, yeah, like the season itself has maybe sort of made me ignore what's going on. Not in a bad way. Just I think for fans over here this weekend, I think as long as Russell Wilson plays at the time of recording, I think they'll sort of look past everything and just think, well, the team's there. It's been 12 years. It's one of the most barren spells of a team playing internationally. Never mind London. I think the Cowboys are like the only other team to sort of wait so long, but it's hard to believe because so much has changed since we last have spoken and since the game was announced. Damani Leach coming into the team now, and he worked here with NFL International for many, many years. So I don't think the Broncos could genuinely, honestly, be better placed in an international sense. The vibe is good. Game kicks off very early your time. This is the
Yeah,
best weekend of the year here.
7:30, Michael. It's like a reverse. You got to get up early sometimes to watch Broncos games at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, but this is the only bad thing about this Sunday for Broncos fans going to the game. This is the best Sunday of the year for a European fan because the clocks change in America. They don't change here the next week. So like the 1 p.m. Eastern games are at 5. Oh, it's amazing. But I'll be listening to Mr. Hackett, hopefully, in his presser
Uh-huh.
afterwards. But
Hopefully it's not the last presser.
well, well, the last time they came to London, obviously there was a situation there as well. So we'll see. The vibe's really good. Um, the Packers were here 2 weeks ago, and I have been fortunate enough to go to a Super Bowl. It equaled that. So if we even
Really?
get to like 60% of that, I'll be a happy man come Sunday.
What do you think the atmosphere is going to be like on Sunday in terms of the split? Are we going to see 50-50 in terms of Broncos fans, Jags fans? Will it be heavy Broncos fans? What do you expect?
That's a really good question. Last year, the Miami Jacksonville game was played in Tottenham because of some sort of contractual agreement at that time between the Jaguars and that stadium. And it was like 35% Jaguars fans, which might sound like a lot for London, but the Packers game was easily 60-40 Packers a few weeks ago. The Jets and the Falcons last year was a lot of Jets fans, a lot of Vikings fans at the first London game this year. I really don't know. I think if the team is doing better in terms of its record, you'd have a lot of Broncos fans there, but I really hope it hasn't put people off. But I do think, well, I think that we will outnumber the Jaguars fans on Sunday. I really hope it. I mean, I think that's genuinely one of the keys to the game. And Sunday, they have to make that stadium loud whenever Trevor Lawrence has the ball. But from what we've seen, there's a large contingent going. I would like to think you'd have at least 40% of the stadium in orange, blue, or white, or whatever the Broncos choose to wear, top or bottom on Sunday.
Michael, give me a sense of what game day is like in London. You know, here in America, we tailgate and then we go to the games. So what's it like? What is that atmosphere going to be like for fans who are watching this and want to make their way to the stadium on Sunday afternoon, your time?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that have traveled over here from the States as well that might not actually know this. There's obviously two different stadiums now in London that have NFL games, and Munich has a game now in a few weeks, and I'm very excited for that. I'm actually excited to see what the tailgate's going to be like there. The problem with London is London's a great city, but it's so built up. So when Wembley was first done up in like 2008, 2009, it was just there. There was nothing around it. Now you can't see the full stadium from the underground. It's just built up with hotels. The Broncos are actually staying 700 meters from the stadium. If I can go that far in saying that, they're so close to the stadium. So it's difficult for someone to have an authentic tailgate. You can't just park up in the parking lot like at Mile High, for example, 6 hours before the game. It just doesn't work. Pre-COVID, what they done was they had this big parking lot, ironically, which was like maybe half a mile from the stadium. And that was the last game before COVID hit, which was the Jaguars and the Texans from memory. And there's like a stage, cheerleaders, but it's nothing like what it's like in the States. And even for the Tottenham games, it's just a main street with this huge modern stadium, and it's very, very strange. As I said, the Packers game was the only thing that really rivaled a tailgate atmosphere in America, but it's not. It's in no way the same. That being said, it is something to look forward to. You can have a few beers, wines, soft drinks, waters, whatever before you go in. And it's one of the only events that opens like 3 or 4 hours early in Wembley Stadium. Because as much as there is to do stuff around there, it is quite built up. So I found before, if you're a fan on Sunday, just go in and enjoy yourself. But unfortunately, Michael, you can't take the CBS 4 van and park up and have a barbecue.
I'll let Romy
Maybe
and
next time.
Dave Willie, our photographer, know that they can't do that. Michael, quickly give us a prediction. What do you think happens on Sunday?
I feel like you should ask me on Sunday morning, like 6 a.m. Mountain. I really don't know. I think like if Russell Wilson plays, and I think, look, I know this is pre-recorded, but I really think he will play. Like I don't see how you fly somebody halfway across the world to do that. He's doing a media appearance on Friday in a Nike store, so I don't think that's why they flew him over. He should play. The Broncos don't really have any excuses. This is a must-win game. They have to go 3-4. They have to take the bye and start again and hope that they beat the Chiefs twice. And if that happens, I'll fly over myself, Michael, and buy everyone dinner. I mean, happy days. I'd be a very, very happy man. I'll take us winning 23-20 on a field goal, and that's only because I think if this was in a year's time, this game, I think the Jaguars are in a far. Lawrence has developed as a quarterback, and it's desperation mode. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no point in hiding it. I would like to see continuity. I'd like to see the team do well this season, and I am a fan at the minute, especially with my soccer team, of giving people time. I can see why people want to maybe change things up a bit going into the bye week. I completely get that. But I think we need to get a win regardless. There's so many people over here that that grew up watching American football or the NFL in the early, mid, late 80s and early 90s. Colin, who's been on before, would have been one of those fans. Colin's been to the States, been to Denver, but I know so many people that have never had an opportunity to go over to Colorado. So for them, this is it's awesome for me seeing the team, but like for them, it means everything. So I'd like to think we get a win, and I'm just going to go against any analytical picks which suggest otherwise and say the Broncos get a win on Sunday.
I love it. I love it. For fans who are going over there and want to take part in the events, and they're watching this right now, how can they get hooked up with you guys? Because I know you've got some fun stuff going on.
We will be in the team bar on Thursday and Friday. It's called the Barraboy and Banker. It's literally like 30-second walk from London Bridge Underground Station. And then on Saturday night, there's an event which is literally 5 minutes down the road. It's just a social event. There may or may not be a podcast as well from 7:30 to midnight. It's sold out. So I'd love to advertise it more. Like if there's more space becomes available, I will let people know on social media. No plans itself on Sunday morning because I have to work. First world problems, Michael. But yeah, I know. I would suggest the fans don't hang around downtown or central London, especially if you're from the States. Get out to Wembley Park and enjoy yourself because it's an early kickoff. 1:30 is early.
Yeah.
So I'm not complaining about that. That's nice. But yeah, it's going to be a good weekend, man. And hopefully I either see you at the Mexico game for the Broncos, which I'm sure is going to happen, or hopefully the Manny Leach gets a marketing deal and we can do this again sometime soon.
Hopefully we can make that happen. Michael, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. And thank you for logging on to CBS News Colorado.